In a world obsessed with status, how do we know who our true friends are? Today we explore a story of hidden wealth and ultimate loyalty. Nadia lived a life of absolute luxury, surrounded by opulence that most could only dream of. But she felt a growing shadow of doubt. Designer cars, rare jewelry, and high society galas were her everyday reality. Yet she wondered if people loved her, or just her money. One morning, staring at her reflection, Nadia made a bold decision. She would strip away the wealth to find the truth. She carefully removed her designer earrings and replaced her silk gown with simple, worn-out clothing, transforming herself into a common stranger. Walking into the bustling city streets, she was invisible. For the first time in years, she felt the cold reality of being overlooked. She arranged to meet her friends, Lena, Tasha, and Maya, at their usual spot, appearing as if she had lost everything. Nadia sat down quietly, her head bowed. She looked tired and frail, waiting to see how her closest companions would react. Tasha, always the most fashion-forward, didn't hide her disdain. She scanned Nadia's appearance with a look of pure judgment. But Lena saw something else. Without a word about the clothes, she reached out, offering Nadia her own plate of food. A soft smile touched Nadia's lips. This small gesture of kindness felt more valuable than all the gold she left at home. Meanwhile, Tasha leaned over to Maya, whispering mockingly about how embarrassing it was to be seen with someone looking so disheveled. Maya remained silent, caught between her observation of Nadia's plight and the social pressure from Tasha. She seemed deep in thought. As the group began to walk through the city, the tension was thick. Tasha kept her distance, while Lena stayed close to Nadia. They passed a luxury boutique, the kind of place Nadia used to own. Tasha stopped, gazing longingly at the expensive displays. Nadia watched her friend with a subtle, knowing expression. The mask of poverty was revealing everyone's true character very clearly. Suddenly, the sky darkened. A heavy rain began to pour, catching the group off guard and sending everyone running for cover. Nadia, in her thin clothes, began to shiver. She stood under a small awning, looking vulnerable and completely abandoned. Without hesitation, Lena took off her own warm jacket. She draped it over Nadia's shoulders, choosing her friend's comfort over her own. Tasha, however, complained about her ruined hair and shoes, stepping further away into a dry doorway to protect her expensive outfit. Nadia looked at Lena with deep gratitude. The test was over. She knew exactly who was real and who was merely a shadow. The next morning, Nadia invited them to a specific address, arriving with a newfound confidence that radiated power and grace. The group arrived at the gates of a massive, ornate estate. Tasha and Maya looked around in confusion, wondering why they were there. With a heavy mechanical hum, the gates began to swing open, revealing a world of grandeur that Tasha had only seen in magazines. Nadia stepped forward, her heels clicking on the stone. She was no longer the poor girl they had pitied or mocked. Tasha's jaw dropped. The realization hit her like a physical blow. The poor woman she had insulted was the owner of this kingdom. Nadia turned to them, her voice calm but firm. "I wanted to see who would stand by me when I had nothing to give." Lena smiled gently. For her, the wealth changed nothing. She had loved the woman in the gray shirt just as much as this queen. Maya nodded slowly, finally understanding the profound lesson Nadia had taught them all about the nature of true friendship. Nadia then turned her gaze to Tasha. It wasn't a look of anger, but one of deep disappointment and finality. Tasha looked away, unable to meet Nadia's eyes. She knew she had failed the only test that truly mattered. True wealth isn't in what you own, but in who you are. Remember, kindness costs nothing but is worth everything.